What's up, guys? So today I want to talk to you about how Demon Slayer reminds me of the church. Yes, you heard me. The church. Now, I know that a lot of people were upset because this episode really, there wasn't a lot to it. However, the part where we look at the training that the Miss Hashira was doing and how Tanjiro talks to him and handles this situation up until the end, and what we see really truly reminded me of the church. And I think it's really trying to define the Demon Corp as something different, right? Something better. So I just want to show you guys right here. So when we first start the episode, right? It's like very soulless. You know, these guys are just getting hammered and beat up. And Tanjiro even himself is a little cringed at the fact that on how they're being treated. Although it's kind of like it is expected, if you will, because that's how we've seen him act in the past. But what I want to show you guys is that here towards the end, we see something different. And this all has to do when Tanjiro chooses to learn more about the Mist Hashira, right? And here he learns that, he likes airplanes. So he challenges him to an airplane contest. And we're not going to get into the fact that there shouldn't be any airplanes at that time. So I don't know how they're making paper airplanes, if you will. But so here he challenges him. And the entire goal is that if he wins, he's going to start treating his disciples a little bit better. And it's kind of funny because we see all 10 attempts and Tanjiro completely loses, right? So I thought that was a pretty neat thing. And we see something weird. So all of these guys apparently here, they're all like, how would you say? Oh, in their village, like they've all, for some reason, built airplanes. So they all challenge him, right? And then we see this cool scene right at the end, and this is where I want to get into, where everyone is building these airplanes, and they're actually bonding over this, right? And then here, he throws the airplane, and everyone's airplane, is flying off, right? And now we kind of see this scene here that could embody like community, for a future where, maybe now the Miss Hashira as a teacher, he's going to change. And I want to get into how this reminded me of the church. And it reminded me of the church for a few different reasons. First is that there are a lot of people that have a lot of church hurt, right? They've been unfortunately abused in some way, shape, or form in the church, right? Attending to church, they've been taken advantage of, etc. And this hurt has actually caused quite a few people to leave the church, to even leave Christianity. So it's very important that we get church, or how we do church, properly. And the first thing that I want to talk about is the fact that a lot of people get what the church is supposed to be completely wrong, right? A lot of people actually don't know that the word church is not defined by a temple, right? Like a lot of people say, I'm going to go to church. That's not a church. I mean, no, I know that today is known as that, but when Jesus talks about, not when Jesus, but when the Bible talks about the church, it is talking about the Christian group of people that are gathering, right? That's what we call like the body of Christ. Like that is the church. So really when we're saying, hey, we're going to church, we're already messing up, right? Because that's not really accurate. Now, that's the first thing. And I think that actually feeds into the next piece. And that is that today we treat church, doing church, being a church, as a club, right? This is something that I do on Sunday for a couple of hours and then I go home. And that is completely opposite of how the illustration of a church is shown to us in the Bible, right? Especially in the book of Acts, where it talks about a community of people that are coming together, that are living life together. And that leads to my point here about church being outside of the temple, right? When you're doing church properly, you're getting to know the people that are within the church. You're getting to understand their struggles, how they live their lives. And that plays into a lot of the commandments that we see in the Bible when it comes to how we treat each other, right? Philippians talks about how we are called to carry each other's burdens. And the question is, how am I going to be able to help my brother or sister with their burdens if I don't know them? If I don't know them, then I'm not going to know what their burdens are. So really, the Bible here is calling us to be a community, right? Not a social club where we just come together on Sunday and that is it. To be honest, that is like the bare minimum. And that's what we've reduced church to. And that's not what it is, right? Because at that point, there's no heart in the church, right? There's no heart in the body, the people that are supposed to be a community, that are supposed to know each other, right? And I think that going back to Demon Slayer, I feel like this is an illustration that is happening here when we see all of these airplanes flying together. So I think right here, this image of all of these airplanes flying together is supposed to symbolize like a new change of the Demon Slayer Corp, because that's kind of what's happening, right? It's showing us in the anime that there is a change that needs to be made in order for them to overcome this new challenge that they're going to be facing. And part of that is them coming together a little bit, right? Getting to know each other a little bit more so that they can fight together better and more efficiently. So this is how Demon Slayer reminded me of the church. Thank you for joining me. I hope you find this helpful. And as always, just want to remind you that we must persevere. Peace.